aye.
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 Okay, minutes are adopted. Ms. Standridge, you're on deck first under new business, water and sewer reserve future improvements, fund budget revision number 6.
Good afternoon, council. This
Good
item
afternoon.
should be pretty easy. This is just budgeting for the reimbursement agreement with the State Department for State Department of Transportation for the $21 million of utility relocation that Mr. Gurney briefed you about in Projects Committee. It will be budgeting the revenue to come in and then creating the project expense account for them to start doing the work for.
Great, thank you. Questions, comments? Any non-committee members? Okay, is there a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, revision is approved. Now we move down to the continued cleanup on the capital projects recommendations and actions. Ms. Standridge, the one that we have left is the one we're about to enter discussions on.
So as soon as you mentioned the IT fiber optic one, I looked and that is another one that is hanging out there.
Is he still in here?
No, but I can get him in here very quickly.
Have
if
him
I need
come
to.
back and we'll get that knocked out.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and reopen discussions on the Veterans Memorial Parkway pedestrian bridge. So, Bill, come on up. I assume you have more engineer enlightenment to give us related to this.
So I anticipate the question likely is, what should we do with the amount of money that we've already allocated to this project?
We've got 750 out there, right,
Yes, sir.
Ms. Standard?
Yes, we have 750 already budgeted.
750's in the
another
bank
750.
on it.
So to refresh, what we talked about last time was a project that would require approximately 1.5 million. So that was why the 750 that we have in hand, so to speak, to go along with the 750 that's proposed currently. And apologize that I don't have any visuals with me today, but if you recall from the last presentation, while there's not an immediate structural concern today, meaning not an imminent safety risk, the items that we address are to stave off that imminent safety risk from progressing any sooner. So, minimizing as much as we can the erosion of the structural components of the bridge, and by that I'm talking about keeping rust so it's just surface rust and not starting to result in section loss, et cetera, that would create safety concerns. So the majority of the project that we had come up with had two major components to it. One was encapsulating all the structural components, so scraping rust and repainting the steel components of the bridge so that that maintains the condition that it's at without degrading any further at any more significant rate, as well as cleaning and sealing the bridge deck. So the concrete of the surface of the bridge itself, if that starts to lose integrity, you start to lose components of the concrete and then it degrades faster. So there's a portion of the project that called for cleaning and sealing of the bridge deck. My recommendation is that we retain those as a bare minimum within the project. And then the element that could be in question is what we have proposed for fence removal. So essentially removing all of the fence and replacing all of the sections of the fence.
And Bill, when we say fence, we're talking about the guardrail fence going over the walk across part,
Yes,
right?
sir. Correct. That was in there because there are some locations that it's not just that it's rusted and doesn't look great. It's also could be a safety risk that if the fence isn't sealed as it appropriately should be, or stanchions are holding it in place the way that it should, then we should address those. I think we can significantly reduce the cost of that portion of the line item if we direct our consultant to focus only on the safety elements of fence replacement. And I will say right now, it won't address any of the aesthetics of the fence. It still will look like a rusty old fence. But if we address the safety elements of it, I think that'll bring the cost of the project down. Could be significantly, and just based off of the numbers that we have, which are, I should say, are only based off our consultant's preliminary estimate. We haven't even gotten into design yet, but I think that would get us very close to the $750,000 that we have in hand currently.
So say
So,
that
Mr.
again?
Tyner, Mr.
Yeah,
Fayol,
Well, of
open the
course,
floor up to you two.
no, well, of course, I'm for doing it, all of it, because,
And all of it was 1.5.
yes, and because as the mayor and I have had these discussions, and all of you do, we don't want to do anything halfway. You don't just want to paint it and blow the rust off of it, because that's not gonna, like he said, for years to come, make sure that it is safe. I just think we voted to save the bridge, and now I don't think we should do anything but just the best. That's the city of Tuscaloosa standard. So I'm just, I'm for, and I still think it won't take the entire amount, I don't believe, once you get into it, and then whatever's not spent could come back.
I don't remember that we ever voted on it. I mean, maybe we did.
We did. We just voted not to tear it down,
Well, okay. But we didn't tear it down. We didn't vote to do anything to it.
not at the time, no.
And I just feel like anything more than it would cost to take it down is a waste of taxpayers' dollars.
Yeah.
And my friend Kip and I are gonna disagree on that, and that's okay.
That's okay.
But that's just, I'm not gonna say any more about it, because y'all know how I feel.
And Bill, the cost to take it down again was what?
Previously, when we looked at demolition, that's where the $750,000 cost came from. That was for the design and the demolition.
So the 750 that's set aside was the previous estimate for taking it down.
Yes, sir.
Bill, does that estimate from the engineers have some type of contingency in it?
It does, yes, sir.
What is the contingency?
There's a 10% contingency.
So 150?
Sorry, I apologize. For the immediate repair project, it was a 20% contingency.
So 300,000?
Yes, sir, approximately.
If we know we've got 750,000 that's there, right, that we haven't done anything with. If we solicited, Carly, you'll have to tell me whether I can do this or not. We solicited a base bid, and then we had a lot of added things to it that could get us to a higher number. Can we not see kind of what the market would bear on, and then come back and say, these are the things we can afford to do? Do we want to do that? Do we want to do it over 2 years? Do we want to do it? But we know we've got $750,000. I mean, can we, how can you structure
We can,
something like that? Well, then we could really look at it and put the dollars to it.
so we can do that, but I'll add the caveat that, so if you get to, let's say your base bid and your first two additives come back, and that's the number you want to spend to, and there are 3 or 4 more additives, when you don't award those as part of the bid, that pricing is gone. And so you would have to rebid those 2-3 years down the road when you wanted to do it.
So can we get to a common ground with what Councilor Tyner is asking for and just put it all in the bid the first time? And keep it with the base bid?
And kind of see what we're, I mean, because we hadn't even talked about where the funding source would come from to even fund that, right, Carly?
Well,
I mean,
that's part of the
That's the-
$14 million
that's part of the
surplus,
proposal.
right?
I included the cost of.
The additional
The
750.
additional cost in my budget recommendation.
So-
So
it's
in there.
there, it's
Yes, sir.
there.
Yeah, and this is based on the proposal that the mayor had for the capital projects, which is that's what the item is for to review now. So 750's already been budgeted for previous years. This
And
proposal is
added-
the new
added.
750.
Yeah, so the other 750, the old 750 was there, I wasn't adding in my
It's already
brain.
there.
The new 750. So if we decided to go to bid based on what you're talking about, I mean, we've got the money to do it. As long as
I'm
it's,
tracking correctly. I
as
think
long as it's tracking on that number.
You're saying just what's proposed currently, just doing the.
Yeah, I guess I'm thinking we've got $1.5 million, honestly, that could be used to spend on this, correct? Could, depending on, but I almost think you need to figure out some type of base and then have additives on for some of this, and let's see where we are. I mean, because I feel confident we might be able to beat that with a 20% contingency. That's $300,000.
So I think we could do the bridge striping and
Yeah.
repainting, which addresses the structural steel
Yeah.
components. The cleaning and sealing of the bridge deck addresses the concrete elements. Some of the costs associated with this are just for the permitting, the mobilization, that are gonna be costs no matter what you do. And then I think we could look at the fence portion of the work as some type of alternate and then look at it in two ways, whether it's safety elements only or full bridge replacement, and then see where the costs come in when we get the proposals.
I think that's probably the way to go.
So.
What do you think, Kip?
Counselor?
I mean, see what the numbers are.
So what are you saying
You
again?
know, listen to what Bill said.
'Cause I just don't wanna do something to put a lipstick on a pig, more or less.
Well, I don't
If
think.
you're gonna
do it, don't have.
But I don't think,
That's right.
I don't think any of us do, because we
No.
got $1.5 million.
'Cause if you got
But I think we ought to look at that and just see what exactly.
But what I heard is what he's proposing is to do the safety elements for the fence, and then you're gonna add in the costs for replacing the entire fence, right?
I think we could structure a contract soliciting proposals for people that would essentially give us the total cost for the full scope of work, but allow us to scale back some portion of the fence work if it turns out that we didn't have enough funding available for the total project.
That's fair.
Is that fair? I think so. And see what we're dealing with.
I'm gonna, I don't think it's mandatory in committee, but I see at least one resident that's come in. If you have any comments, we'd be glad to.
I think this is a reasonable compromise. I understand when you're talking about large scale construction, costs can range quite a bit. The bridge is solid. It hasn't had maintenance in 51 years. I mean, it's had a pretty good run without getting even a paint job so far. So at a bare minimum, it needs safety stuff done, but if you're going ahead and doing a project like this and rerouting traffic for the area and, you know, having minor disruptions, we should get as much as we can out of that, because we'll be spending money as a community to do those things as well, to get the railroad permitting, to do the scaffolding, all of that. So I think that's a reasonable compromise.
Okay, Mr. Crowe, do you wanna condense that into a motion?
I may have to have help. But one other thing I wanted to ask that someone had asked me, and I don't know, but was there any conversation about any security upgrade or any lighting or anything? I meant to ask Kip, I meant to ask y'all that. I mean, and John, does anybody say anything about that? I mean, about any lighting?
Well, we know what the lighting cost on the pedestrian bridge down here. That was many hundreds of thousands of
Yeah,
dollars.
the most thing is the safety, and then I think security cameras is something that was discussed too.
Yeah.
That would definitely need, and they're not that expensive, to have security cameras, but again, like I said,
I would ask, my preference would be that we take care of basics first.
Yeah.
Before we start talking lighting and security.
I'm not worried
cameras.
about lighting, but the security cameras definitely.
Or I think if Bill, you could help me, I mean, I'm glad to make a motion. Repeat what you said, because I'm gonna have help on what that motion is, but it's more of, we've got the money is there. If you were gonna bid this out, you'd bid out.
My recommendation would be that we work with our consultant to structure a contract that establishes addressing the structural components of the bridge in the base bid, and then proposes as an option anything related to the fence that is not safety related.
That,
That's good.
That's a good,
I
that's a
will-
good motion. I'll make that motion.
Vicky, do we have that in the minutes? now?
Yes.
Can we get it?
It will be.
I will second that, and
Mm-hmm.
Bill, Mike, thank y'all.
Carly?
This,
I need the item, the 750 proposal of item to be passed too, along with that.
So I make a motion.
Okay, so wait a minute, I'm totally confused now. Make the motion that I made that Bill helped me with. Read that again, Vicky. Let's vote on that first.
Well,
No, we already got a
No,
motion
that was
on
number
that
seven.
one.
watching the video back and wording it exactly
Oh.
like he did.
But that is on the table before we talk about the 750, whatever. I mean,
right, we gotta see what
She
it
needs
is
to find
before we
the-
know whether
That's-
it includes
Just
the other
so we as a
750.
staff understand this correctly, what I hear you to say is that you're approving the budget amount with the provision that the base bid include the structural issues, and that we list as alternates in the base bid, the
The
aesthetic
fencing, that's right.
Yes.
That's not a safety. or
And that
whatever.
then gives the
Yep.
council the ability, you accept the base bid, and then at the time the bids come in, then
Add
it
it.
gives you the ability to.
Right.
Right, it would
Continue
come
with
back
options.
to
That, absolutely.
projects
So we
or
voted on
finance.
that, right?
But
Come
we
through
will,
projects
and
or
this
whatever again.
includes, Ms. Standridge, this acknowledges the 750 that's already there and the 750
That
that
was
up, the up to additional 750 in the capital projects budget, right?
That's right.
Okay.
All in one motion, correct?
Okay, so
Okay.
that all came out of my mouth, so
Well,
that's
and
my
I-
motion. Thank you, Carly.
And I seconded or Raven did, it has a
He got
second.
passed. Right.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We do have, Ms. Standridge,
Yes, sir.
we do have, some loose fiber optic in still trailing, right?
Yes, sir. So, within the mayor's capital projects proposal, there is still the one item left for fiber optic, system expansion, which is for $300,000. That's the last item on the mayor's proposal, that we've been through all of the, got Mr. Foster back in the,
Did we vote on the police, the other
yes,
piece
sir.
Yeah.
of the police?
Yes, we did that
We're done with that
Yeah,
too?
and that's
Okay.
actually on council this evening.
Okay.
Mr. Foster, welcome.
Thank you, sir. The mayor's proposal includes $300,000 for fiber optic network expansion. The McWright's Ferry Road project kind of has given us a great opportunity to connect from the intersection at Watermelon, New Watermelon and McWright's Ferry to Fire Station 10, the Lake's office, and Lake Nickel. And so that's about 1.5 miles of boring for that. And also to connect from the water tower on Skyland Boulevard down to Fire Station 9, which is at the entrance to Woodland Forest. So that $300,000 is for those two projects together. That will give us the final, those are the last two fire stations we do not have a hardwired connection to. And that will make fire happy and allow us better connectivity for that public safety.
Okay, Mr. Crowe, Ms. Howard, any questions or comments?
Sounds
Motion.
good. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, Mayor, congratulations, you batted 1,000 on a capital projects recommendation. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
All right, don't forget Council